I think your line froze. Madam, coming to you, I'll come back to you, Rajshri. I'm going to Shikha Mukherjee first, because, Madam, do you, what is your view? Mamata herself was victim of left-sponsored violence. I mean, so there was an iconic photograph I remember as a child, you know, a guy going after her, and subsequently, it was found that he was not the police personnel, he was part of the cadre, that famous protest that took place, that lathi broke Mamata's skull, she survived that attack. She herself has been a victim of political violence, but she has not done enough to control political violence when she became the chief minister. Why is that?
Because West Bengal has a tradition of political violence. Peculiarly enough, in a state which takes such pride in its cultural heritage, in its ability to for cultural creativity, this is a state which is peculiarly violent in the political confrontation. And there is a very long history of polarization in this state. It's basically been a two-party fight at the best of times. Therefore, the intensity of the fight is very great. And at this point in time, what you are seeing is the fight between the BJP and the Trinamool. The BJP believing that it can gain ground and oust Mamata Banerjee in an election. Mamata Banerjee equally certain that she can hold on to her majority. So therefore, the violence. I mean, Kartikeya, we've discussed it in the context of previous elections. On your program, I have discussed it, where the political violence, has been a peculiar character in West Bengal politics. Now, let me sort of correct something which I'm a little disturbed actually by looking at the fact that you've focused on Champdani, but why not on Bhangar? Bhangar is where there were North 24 Parganas, Amtala, Bhangar. These were areas where there was a lot of tension. There were confrontations. And this is selective. Either we have the whole list of places where such tension happened that the police was involved in, it is also, let me also clarify two things. One, the Murshidabad, whatever happened in Murshidabad, whatever happened in Chamdani, whatever happened in Bhangar, whatever happened in Amtala, there was every prospect. In Murshidabad, it was slightly different, but everywhere it was two communities which were facing off. The police intervened, and people were injured in the state authority trying to break up the violence. In Murshidabad, post the first incident, there has been police on the ground controlling the situation, bringing the situation back to normalcy. And as I mentioned in your program a few days ago, the return of normalcy cannot happen in 72 hours. It will take a little bit more time. This is reasonable. Mm-hmm. Because there is an overheated environment there. You cannot have a party which sustainably campaigns about comparing what happened in Murshidabad with Direct Action Day in 1946. Okay. That is not only irresponsible, but it is also insulting to the victims of the Direct Action Day. When 4,000 people died and 1 lakh people were, an estimated, very conservative estimate is about 1 lakh people were displaced, forced displaced. Now, if that is the rhetoric that is going to happen, when you are declaring that parts of West Bengal have become parts of actually Bangladesh, what is the message that is being conveyed? This is incendiary. It is inflammatory. It instigates people to take. I mean, it kind of creates a fear and a psychosis, which is not healthy for politics. I mean, if there is a politics that has to be fought, fight it politically, but not, have an ideological fight. have a political fight. What is this polarization on identity, on community, on the basis of sort of
Okay.
prodding uh, very, very sensitive political memory, which
Okay.
is also inflammatory in nature.
Okay.
Now, that is not how you, that is not, if people want normalcy to return, if people want, as the governor says, he wants that West Bengal should be a normal kind of state where the specter of fear and threat and intimidation and corruption and whatever is not going to be there. This is not the route to take.
Okay.
Surely this is not the
Okay.
route
You're
to
saying
take.
this is not the route to take. Rajshri, you raise your hand. Rajshri.
Number one, this is not a political violence. This is absolutely a communal violence. Secondly, whatever had happened at Bhangur, it was a confrontation between the ISF cadres and the police. Why? Because that's a different political party. They want to make some protest, come down to Calcutta, which happened much later on the day of the protest.